Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Royalty Room. As you may recall, on episode 2 of season 2, we had soca royalty. Now, y'all not going to believe we have hip hop royalty. We have Miss LeA Robinson, the granddaughter of the founder of Sugar Hill Records.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Sylvia Robinson. Can we give a round of applause for Grandma's legacy?
Okay, yeah, Grandma.
Because it clearly rubbed off on you.
In a very large way, I'll say. And I didn't even know who my grandma was or what my family did until I was probably like 16 years old. And my homeboy was like, do you understand like why you have all these plaques on the wall and why people know your family? I was like, that's just my family. I don't know what you're talking about. Then I really started like doing a deep dive and I was like, wait, we kind of lit.
Right.
Like extremely. Okay, I like this.
That's like actually a really cool realization to have as a teenager. Like,
because it was normal to me. Like everything was so normal. I'm like, this is normal life.
Right.
So I didn't see them as, oh my God, they did all of these monumental things. I'm just like, this is my family.
Yeah, that's good. And were you at the time you were making like these discoveries and really putting like things into perspective? Were you already being creative? Were you already pursuing anything professionally or not yet?
I was, because I always was just into music and just being an artist. I'm a Gemini, so I'm very like, I like to paint, I like to sing, I like to do this. Whoa. What's your sign?
We love women Geminis.
Women Geminis.
We love women
now
Geminis.
The men.
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode.
Y'all are a different breed. We can talk about that for a couple hours. But we're going to go back to the women Geminis because we love us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've always just been super artistic. But when I was younger, my brother was like a rapper and he was the one that everybody was like, oh, we're going to push this and da-da-da. And I was just like, you know what? I never was a hater. And I will always say that. I never was a hater. I just told myself, become so great that nobody can ignore you.
Ooh.
And that's literally exactly what happened. I started just getting lit and I started getting booked for so many different things. And my family was like, What's going on here? And yeah, now I'm here.
I love that. That's probably one of my favorite gems that I've heard. So as far as your artistry today,
yes.
I heard you just released a new single for 2025.
I did, and it's a spicy single too. It's a spicy one. It's called Fantasy Island, as y'all may be hearing right now, okay? And it's just so good because it really just started off as a freestyle. I didn't intend for it to do numbers the way that it did. I posted it and I got off Instagram because posting gives me anxiety sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll post and get off. I came back on and I'm like, 100,000 views. I'm like, that was fast.
Damn.
No ads, no nothing. And then I started seeing the girls that I had mentioned in the song commenting. I'm like, okay, Young Miami. Okay, Cali. Okay, Dreezy. Okay, Queen Naija. I'm like, oh my God, something's going on. And then people are just like, where is the song? So I had to call like everybody. I was like, all right, I need the song mixed and mastered. Oh my God, we need to get the song cleared. Oh my God, the song has to go out. So everything happened within like a week.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane. Okay.
Yes, but I'm learning to like, you have to let your fans choose what they want.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll put so much effort and time into certain things and certain songs and then you'll put it out and nothing will happen. But you have to listen to your buyers or supporters and let them kind of guide you and tell you what you need to put out. So when they did that, I said, y'all can have it. It's out.
That's crazy. Well, congratulations. So I was doing a little bit of a deep dive, and I believe your debut, 808s and Leggings.
Oh my God.
That was from
such a
2014.
Yeah.
So we just passed 10 years ago. Oh my God. How do you think from 2014 Leah to 2025 Fantasy Island Leah, what's changed and what stayed the same?
What stayed the same is my creativeness and willingness to like just create freely without any type of boundaries or me being like, oh, I want to sound like this person. I never want to sound like anybody else. I never want to look like anybody else. I genuinely feel like I'm one of the dopest people on this planet and I just love myself. So I never desired to be like anybody else. And something that has changed, I will say, like I trust myself thoroughly now.
Wow.
If God gives me a message, I'm like, I'm going to do it. I don't need to call 3 friends and be like, hey, how do y'all feel about this? I just do it because I feel like certain things not everybody's going to understand.
Nice. Wow. Sounded. That was so quick.
Whoa, what's going on here? Actually, this is 808s and Leggings. This actually makes me so happy because this was literally my first project that I ever did with my brother. God rest his soul, K2. He was my producer, and we put together this entire project. And Eric Bellinger was on it.
Oh, wow.
DJ Camper, who's a lit producer too, is incredible. Like he produced something on there, and we all kind of like we're doing music together and bubbling at the same time. So it's cool to actually look back at this. I'm like,
that's
dope. Crazy.
I miss this era. Like, can we please somehow get back? Because the 2020s is completely out of control.
It's a little ghetto.
Completely out of control.
Very ghetto out here right now.
Especially this year. I'm not gonna lie. It's something.
And it's still the beginning.
It's been 7 years in this year already.
Agreed.
But anyways.
Yes.
What do we have to look forward to this year? What else is Miss Leah doing?
Y'all gonna see a lot of me. Okay. I feel like God has just given me such a strength of seeing who I am and seeing where I'm going. And there's no stop button here at all. I just fully trust myself and I'm diving into like my music wholeheartedly and really just saying, you know what, it's now or never. Because I feel like some people, they be playing with their talent sometimes, especially if you've been good at something your whole life. You really just be like, okay, I can just wake up and do this or do this. Now I'm like, no, like we outside and the people they gonna see me.
Whether they like it or not.
Period.
I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like something you said, like you trust yourself and you don't have to call, so and so to get approval or their thoughts. And I feel like that's really important for people in the industry, but also for mental health purposes.
Agreed.
Because that's something that I struggle with. I feel like I have to talk to 2 to 3 people minimum to feel okay about something that just happened or that needs to happen.
Yeah, I get that.
So what would you give as far as advice in finding that journey?
Honestly, you got to sit with yourself. And there's been so many times where like, even when it comes to like text messages, I'll shoot my friend a text sometimes. I'm like, yo, is this cool to say? Is it? But then I'm like, why am I doing that? I trust myself. Like, why do I have to do that? And I realized that sometimes people, they'll give you advice based off of where they are. If you're having a messed up day, you probably won't give me the best sound advice for something that I'm asking you. So I don't even want nobody else's fear. I don't want nobody else's experiences or day or frequencies going on to something that I already know is something for me to do.
Wow.
And I feel like me and God are so tight. That's my dog. Like, that's my homie. So I feel like, why do I need to go to somebody else to validate something that you told me? That's crazy.
Wow.
So I just locked in with myself. I locked in with God and I was just like, listen, you guide me. I don't even want what's for me anymore. I want what you want for me.
Wow.
So I locked in with myself.
Amen. That makes me so happy because I don't know what it is. I haven't been like seeking out people for my show recently. And every guest at some point, God comes into the conversation as a major point of the conversation. And that just makes me feel so full because it's not what I'm setting out to do, but it's finding us.
I love
and
that.
That just makes me very happy.
Period. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
And let's give you your flowers too, because I will say there's so many people that be like, oh my God, I want to do a podcast. Oh my God, I want to do this. And they never do it. People that have ideas and just ideas, I can't talk to. Like, it frustrates my soul. I love people that say that they're going to do something and they actually do it.
Girl, can we run that back? Solomon, can we get the words on the screen? Something.
Yes.
Don't say you're going to do something and not do it.
I'm not that friend you could talk to and be like, I got this idea. Because I'm like, what are we doing?
Right.
What do we do? Like, even if you don't have the resources, I feel like I'm so naturally gifted at figuring things out. So I'm like, don't tell me you got an idea and you don't know somebody. I will call everybody. I'm like, we gonna call everybody until we get this thing ironed out. So I love the fact that you really were like, I'm gonna do this.
Thank you.
And you did it. When did you start your podcast?
So May will actually be 2 years. So thereafter we will start on season 3.
Love that.
And I heard someone they gave me this. It's like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rule. I don't know exactly where it's from, but it's like once you have an idea, you have to do something within those next 5 seconds to either write it down, tell somebody, get on the internet, Google, like whatever it is that you can take an active step towards doing it, or you're likely going to forget it or not ever
do it. That's a fact. You got to keep the momentum going. Like, you have to. That's why I always carry my notebook with me everywhere. I write down everything. If I got an idea, if I have something that I'm thinking about, I will call somebody. I don't care if it's 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, yo, bro, I got this idea. It's crazy. So I believe in that.
I love that. I feel like everything a lot of things you said, I feel like we're very much alike because my sister, she'll be like, I want to be as organized as you and I want to, learn these habits from you and blah, blah, blah. Cause I'll have my planner and my calendar.
I need
and
that.
The to-do list. It's just extensive.
Yeah.
But I'm very blessed to have met you. I'm happy that you're here. As far as the other arenas that you occupy, songwriting, acting, are you interested in pursuing like more acting gigs? And okay,
I love being on screen and I love being on set. When I was on set for Pose, I was just like, oh my God, I love it here. I don't want to leave. I was there like, y'all sure y'all don't need me for something else? Like, I really could stay. Ryan Murphy, please call me because I love you dearly and I want to work with you again. So
clip it up. Solomon, clip that up.
Throwing that out there. But I love acting a lot because I also feel like you're just tapping into like a new version of yourself because within every character, you still got to find and bring you, but also like bring out a story that may completely not be you as well.
Wow.
And you have to still find a way to like bring that to life. So it's just another way of creation and it's just cool. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. I love that. Have you experienced like a situation or maybe like you were doing an audition or something where you had to tap into a role that you really couldn't identify with?
That happens often.
Yeah.
Because you'll get a script and you're just like, I don't know. But then that's when the work comes in. You have to do work for it. My acting coach and teacher at the time, she was just like, you have to unpack this character. There's something similar in everybody that you talk to, regardless of if like it's a surface level thing or something like underneath that. If you talk to anybody long enough, you have some type of correlation or some type of similarity. So it's the same thing with acting. Like you have to paint the picture sometimes, even when they give you a script and it has 3 lines. Those 3 lines mean so much. You have to understand why you're saying everything. There's an intention behind every single word in that script. So you have to do the work and peel it apart in order to discover who that person is. And once you discover who that person is, it's like, whoa, what parts of me are like this person? Boom. There you have it.
Damn. Not only is she giving us life gems, she's giving us artist advice. She's giving us acting advice. So
people be trying to skip the work. You cannot avoid the work. And I tell people that all the time. Things that, especially on my page, I feel like I make things look very, very good. A lot of those things that look really, really good came with a lot of work, a lot of preparation, a lot of sleepless nights. And people only see the good stuff. That's why now I'm like, y'all gonna see the real of what's going on because y'all be having this false perception of how these things happen. And it's like, no, there's some real things that happen behind the scenes before y'all see this glamorous whatever.
Very true. Everybody thinks, my life is just, rainbows and butterflies and celebrities and all the things.
You make
and
it
I'm
look
just like,
good.
whew, I'm exhausted. I need a break. And I feel like this is an appropriate time for a message from the sponsors. And I'm going to do the message. We now have a new sponsor. And this is where I get my energy from. I don't know about those other energy drinks, but Bomber, okay, is the bomb.
Talk about it.
And y'all gonna have to come down here and get you one of these.
Okay. I need a case of those. I be needing some energy now.
I got 2 cases in the car.
Need it.
I got you. You're gonna be energized on your way back from Long Beach because y'all already know we're in Long Beach at the podcast place.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of all of these acting scenarios, you were also a part of a reality TV show in the very beginning, right?
She took it there.
Yes, I want to take it there. We were on Bravo.
Yes.
Okay, and we're talking about again your family and your history. Was it the first family of hip hop?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What is that journey between reality TV and scripted roles? And also, how did that affect your like upbringing, being on TV? Early?
This is
Sorry, that was 2 questions.
Unpack a lot of things here. But in all honesty, reality television, personally, the thing that irks me the most about it, to be honest, full transparency here, this is a safe space, is that I'm the type of person that, like, if we have an issue, we're gonna talk about it. I don't need to drag that issue. Like,
Yeah.
nor do I need to go talk to this person and this person and this person. I talk to you about it because we have the issue. So that was my biggest thing with reality television. It's like, we'll never just have an issue and that'll be it. We'll have a
Yeah.
conversation.
You
Now
talk
it's
about it
like,
for 3 months.
yes, and I'm such a person, I don't hold on to nothing. Like nothing. I don't hold no grudges. That's why I look the way I look. Okay.
I was gonna say
I
that's
let things
probably
go.
for the best.
Yes. And life is too short. So I don't harbor on anything. So I think that was the biggest piece for me mentally that was just like draining. It's just like, oh my God. So I do enjoy more so like acting stuff because it's like you're going in, you're clocking in to be this person, and then you can go and do your own thing and be who you really are outside of that. So yeah, that was a journey.
Would you say, because I've had a lot of people and they want to be on this show so bad, and they're only gonna get $1,000 an episode, no hair, no makeup, no this, no that, but it's TV, Would you recommend someone diving into the reality TV world?
I mean, I feel like you got to be a certain type of person for it. If you know that that's something that you're going to utilize and capitalize off of, and you have a plan and you have a strategy, go for it. Because it really does help a lot of people. But if you know that that's not genuinely who you are, if you know that your mental health is not okay, if you know that like you just ain't built for that, like, because reality television is a whole different ball game. I've never been a person that ever really dive into comments. I don't allow people to tell me how I should feel about me when I know I'm one of the dopest people out here. But there's people that they'll go through their comments all day if they make you look a certain type of way on television because you don't have creative control.
Right.
It's like the ball is in their court. So you have to be willing to put yourself or have them put yourself and create a narrative for you that you may or may not like.
Yeah. That's very true.
I think you have to know all of those things before going into it. But certain people, I feel like it's really great for them. And there's certain reality stars. I'm like, you are the best reality star. Like, I love Tiffany Pollard. I'm like, you are the best reality star. I love New York so much. Like, anything she does, I will watch her. Jocelyn, love her. I will watch her. Like, they're
Some people
great.
are definitely made for it.
Yes, but I know I don't know if that's for me.
Yeah. And that's fine. That's fine. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And I've had like extensive experience with contracts for reality TV, and something that you just said, a lot of people aren't aware of. For some reason, it just looks so good that you believe everything you see.
Yeah.
But I promise you, within these contracts, it specifically says we have full creative control. We have the right to alter the clips and rearrange and do literally anything that they possibly can figure out how to do, they will do to fit the narrative and the storyline. And it's provocative. It gets the people going.
Literally.
So before you do anything, before you get on the show, before you get on TV, all the things, get a lawyer. Read your contract. And even if you read your contract, get a lawyer before you sign anything, because I promise you 9 times out of 10, you may miss something that's in there because you're not meant to see it. You're not meant to find it.
And that legal language is a whole different language. Like, me personally, I have an attorney, but I go through all of my paperwork. I don't care. I think the one for Bravo, that thing was probably like 100 pages. I read every single page. I had my own notes.
That's amazing.
I don't play with that because I'm also like, lawyers, great. We hire them for a reason. But I'm like, you're still a human being at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I want to know certain things within these contracts. And I look at it. I send it to my brother too. I trust his eye. And then I send it to my attorney because I'm just like, there's certain things that I want to know.
I'm proud of you. Like, literally, you have not only one check and balance in place, you have 3 checks and balances.
I've been taking time, but
no, and 9 times out of 10, nobody's even thinking about, 1, reading it themselves, or 2, the word lawyer, attorney, anything. And another thing that I want to mention, whenever you're doing these TV contracts or social media contracts, influencer stuff. Oftentimes you're signing away not just whatever's happening on that project, but also everything you're doing in the entertainment industry. Any, like, if
Yeesh.
for example, for the Bravo show,
Mhm.
if you had a clause in your contract and it said, 10% of everything you do in music, everything you do if you write a book, if you get on a movie, if you do merchandise, da 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 da, it's just like 10% of everything that ever comes off of you
Mhm.
because we put you in this position.
And I think that started with Bethany Frankel from, I want to say, Housewives, because she
Mm.
created the skinny cocktails
Yeah.
and they didn't get anything. But that went like crazy. She put it in Target. She put it in so many different places.
And then they're like, "Oh, we made you."
Yes,
Where's my
for
money?
sure. But they couldn't do it because she had already been in there. Like, but I think they specifically put things like that inside of their contracts. And if you're not looking, you just go
You
and
never
sign. You're
find
like,
it.
oh, I'm about to get this bread.
Yep.
Little do you know.
So the moral of the story is everybody that you see on reality TV is not rich.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You
But,
know?
I mean, it's just like, it's online too. Like,
Yeah.
I know so many artists and rappers and stuff that are just like, they're not financially, number one, literate. And they don't have a lot of money.
Mhm.
And being an artist is expensive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm learning right now because I'm fully investing into myself. Like, I still work my
Yeah.
job. And I tell people that right now because artists too, they be so afraid of how things look. I do not care how
Right.
things look. I will gladly tell you, I still work my regular job in order to be able to afford my dream.
Yeah.
And I'm okay
Absolutely.
with that until God is like, all right, we're done. But people make things look a certain type of way to try to give off a certain type of persona. I don't have that in me. I just want to be able to sleep peacefully at night and show people the real because I'm like, this is what it is.
Period. I love that.
Yeah.
And speaking of showing people what it is, you just recently did your TikTok performance.
Yes. That was so cool.
And tell me about that one.
So I love TikTok so much. My homegirl, she came into my job one day and she was like, girl, why are you not on TikTok? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of late to it.
Right.
So I don't think I'm going to join
I
it.
feel the same.
This girl told me how much money she was making on TikTok. I said, let me download the app right now.
Is it back on the App Store?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But this was a while ago. This is before the whole quote unquote ban that
Was not a
we're
ban.
not going to go into that, but whatever. Conversation for another day. But my homegirl, she showed me how much she was making. I said, all right, cool. So once I started getting on TikTok, I started going live every day and really started building like a supportive system there. And I felt like it's a safe space for me. Instagram, I feel like it has to be curated. It has to look a certain type of way. TikTok, I'll be on there with my bonnet. I'll be up there like dusty. And I'm just like, I don't care. I feel cool and safe enough to do that. And people, they like that more there because it's their sense of like, this is real. It's not a curated thing. So when TikTok ended up reaching out to book me to come perform, I'm like, what? God?
That's dope.
Thank you.
That is so dope.
I was very happy because that's genuinely a platform that I love so much. Oh, look at me. Hey.
Okay, shout out Verse Entertainment.
Her.
Shout out Kalisha Pereira.
Shout out to my girl, my publicist, the baddest in our game, Kalisha.
And is.
Okay? And
that's
that was
a really nice set too.
What? I said,
It's
oh, TikTok, y'all
gorgeous.
got a budget.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Wow.
And actually, I had a show yesterday, and I had invited a couple of them that were there, and they popped out. They came.
Really?
I was like, okay, TikTok family, I love y'all.
I love that. You don't
Yes.
hear about that too often. What do you prefer, like, as far as like a performance like this, where it's recorded and closed set, or do you want to be in front of the arena or at the NBA games?
I love it all.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've been blessed enough to perform for 10 people, and I've been blessed enough to perform for 10,000 people. And just because it's 10 people in a room, don't discredit their importance. And they may support you more than all the other people. So I like both. I feel like no matter how successful I get, I will always either play in a coffee shop when I feel like it or be in an arena and selling out shows.
I love that.
So it just depends.
I like the idea that you don't have to be too big to do, the smaller things or at
don't.
schools or whatever it is. I really appreciate that.
And I think too, by the grace of God, and I think that's something that me being in my family has showed me, like I've been around the biggest stars ever in the world. And freaking Michael Jackson called my house asking for my grandma. Like
Wow.
I just look at people differently, and I don't need the crazy antics all the time. I just like real encounters with people. So if I'm singing to one person in that room, I'm like, We got a vibe. Like,
that.
you're never going to forget that.
I might have to book you for my birthday.
Book me, girl. We love a booking now.
I love it.
When's
I
your
love
birthday?
it. September 7th.
What is your sign?
I'm a Virgo.
I actually love Virgos. One of my best friends is a Virgo.
See?
Oh, I love that.
And my best friend is a Gemini, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Period.
Last question I want to ask, because I always do this with the boys. I've never done this with the girlies. Can we ask, is Miss Leah single?
Me and Benjamin Franklin is in a whole relationship right now. That's my guy. All right.
That was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
situation.
She pulled a little baby. He said me and Money is married.
We go together.
Mm-hmm. Real bad. I like that. Well, y'all know the way. If you ain't money, it ain't no honey.
You know what? And it's like, I'm such a daddy's girl too.
Yeah.
So me and my dad are like that. Me and my mom are like that. And my family spoils me. My friends spoil me, everything. So I just like to be treated good.
Yeah.
If you come up in here, you better be adding something to it. You better be doing more than my daddy doing. Because that man.
Amen.
I was depressed and he showed up with a brand new truck. And it was my favorite truck. I said, Daddy, like, I'm not sad anymore. Thank you.
Okay.
So, like,
girl, this is why we so much alike, because I'm the same. All of that, same. Shout out to our daddies, because we love you.
Thank you.
You've done really well.
Yes.
Okay.
And I will say too, it was not always like that. I don't want to give this false perception either, because this is like me going to therapy and now being able to like vocalize myself.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't always like that. But now that we have like the greatest bond ever, it's so lit. So if anybody's going through any parental issues, like, just because that is what it is now does not mean that's what it's going to be like forever.
Exactly.
Because there was a time where I was like, oh, I don't know about this. And I didn't even talk to my dad for like a year.
Wow.
And I was okay with that. I was like, listen here, parent or not, I don't care what your title is in my life. If you are not treating me the way I feel like I deserve to be treated, I don't care. I don't talk to you. But then we got past that. And I've done a lot of growing since then, a lot of healing and therapy. And me and my dad are like best friends now. That's my dog. I call my dad for everything.
I love that. So you're definitely on your self-care journey. You're healing. You're doing well.
Yeah.
Physically, financially, mentally. I'm blessed, like I said, to have you here. So thank you so much for stopping by the Royalty Room. Let everybody know where we can find you streaming, on the socials, all the things.
Yes. So make sure y'all follow me right now at the LeA Robinson on Instagram and TikTok, of course. My YouTube is at I am LeA Robinson. So go subscribe right now and go stream Fantasy Island right now, because it's doing numbers. Okay? It's on all streaming platforms. So go get it.
You heard what she said. Don't make her repeat herself.
Please.
Like, subscribe, follow, comment, tune in for everything that's to come. And we'll see you again next time.